Welcome back to Explaining Everything, the channel where we dive into the stories and mysteries behind everyday things. Today's question comes from one of our curious viewers, Grace Snacker. Thanks for the suggestion, Grace. You asked, why do crackers have holes in them? If you've ever crunched on a cracker and noticed those little holes, you might have wondered, what's the deal with these? Well, today, we're breaking down the science, history, and snack engineering behind cracker holes. Because yes, there's a reason for them, and it's more important than you think. So, if you love snacks and weird food facts, stick around as we uncover the secrets of cracker holes, right here on Explaining Everything. All right, let's get technical, but not too technical, because nobody wants a physics lecture in the middle of snack time. Those holes in your crackers? They're called docking holes. And no, that's not a reference to some fancy spaceship maneuver. It's all about controlling the way crackers bake. When you put dough in a hot oven, it gets all puffy and full of air, kind of like your friend who won't stop talking about their gym routine. But for crackers, puffiness is the enemy. If they don't bake flat, they won't be that satisfyingly crisp. You'd basically have a weird, doughy bread blob instead of a snappy cracker. The holes let steam escape while baking, keeping everything nice and flat. So next time you're crunching on a cracker, just remember, those tiny holes fought a war against air bubbles so your snack could stay crispy. Believe it or not, poking holes in crackers is not some new, modern, space-age idea. This has been happening for centuries. The credit goes to our old friend, hardtack, the rock-hard cracker that kept sailors and soldiers alive while simultaneously breaking their teeth. Hardtack, which sounds more like an extreme sport than a food, was a staple in the 1800s because it lasted forever. But without holes, it could trap air and get all puffy, which was a big no-no when you were trying to store it for months on end. The simple solution? Poke some holes in it, let it bake flat, and voila! Deliciously bland survival food. Now, in the age of fancy crackers that come in 47 different flavors, including ones that taste like rosemary, truffle, and probably disappointment, those holes still serve the same practical purpose. But let's be real, they also add a bit of style. Imagine a cracker without holes. It just wouldn't look right. It'd be like a pizza without cheese, a sandwich without bread, or a cat that doesn't judge you. These days, the placement of the holes is carefully planned, almost like a top-secret cracker blueprint. The size, number, and arrangement of holes can affect the final texture. More holes mean a crispier cracker, while fewer holes make them slightly softer. It's basically snack engineering at its finest. Do all crackers have holes? Not necessarily. If you've ever seen those fluffy, buttery crackers, the kind that make you feel fancy when you eat them, they usually don't have holes. That's because they're meant to be soft and flaky rather than thin and crispy. So, no docking holes needed. They get to puff up a little, like a biscuit, while the flat crackers are forever stuck in their tightly controlled, hole-punched destiny. Now, imagine a world where crackers didn't have holes. Would civilization collapse? Would crackers become chewy abominations? Would cheese have to find a new best friend? Probably not, but it would change things. Without those holes, crackers would be puffier, which might not be the worst thing if you're into that. But they also might bake unevenly, with some areas crispier than others. Worst case scenario, you could end up with a batch of crackers that look like tiny, lumpy mountains instead of sleek, snappy snacks. And let's be honest, nobody wants lumpy crackers. Want to drop some cracker knowledge at your next party? Here are some fun facts. The number and placement of holes in crackers are so important that different brands have specific patterns to maintain texture consistency. Yes, there's a whole science behind it. Some crackers have more than just docking holes. They have decorative holes, just to look cool. Because why not? And the next time someone calls you a cracker, you can confidently reply, "Ah, yes, just like the snack, crispy, structured, and full of purpose." Some people think those tiny holes are just a ploy by cracker companies to sell us less cracker per cracker. After all, if you add up all those holes across a whole box, how much cracker are we really losing? Is this the biggest snack conspiracy of our time? Probably not. But if you ever feel shortchanged by your crackers, just remember, those holes are working hard to keep your snack crispy. It's not a scam. Or is it? So, there you have it. Those little holes in your crackers aren't just a random design choice. They're carefully placed to ensure your snack stays crisp, tasty, and not full of unexpected air pockets. It's snack science at its finest. Next time you're munching on a cracker, you can wow your friends with your new knowledge, or just keep it to yourself and enjoy the crunch. Either way, you'll never look at a cracker the same way again. Who knew something so small could have such a big impact? Now go forth and snack with confidence, knowing you're part of an elite group that truly understands the magic of cracker holes. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the crispy world of crackers, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never miss an episode. And if you have suggestions for our next video, feel free to share them in the comments below. We'll be sure to give you an acknowledgement for your contribution. Thank you for tuning in, and join us next time here in the channel that answers all the why, what, who, where, and how questions you've always wondered about, here on Explaining Everything.